Hey y'all, have you ever heard of the hit visual novel series Danganronpa? If you feel good about your life, then I'm going to assume the answer is no, but good thing for you, I'm here to tell you all about it. I may not know how to have a normal conversation with a human being, but I can tell you all about the funny bear and the official Tumblr mascot Nagito Kamida. I first got into the series back in 2020, like a lot of people did, since that's when Donnie and Arnold started playing it on Game Grumps. I remember seeing a bit of this game a long time ago, however I didn't really check it out because I wasn't into anime and all that stuff back then. I was into cool things like alcohol and sinning. I'd watched the first 2 chapters of them playing it, but then I decided to play through the game myself. And almost instantly I fell in love with it. It just had this certain charm that really appealed to me. Though the series has its problems, I can totally understand some people not wanting to get into the series, but me personally, I'm able to look past these flaws. And that's when I know I truly love a series, when I can acknowledge its flaws and still enjoy it so much. I have a Danganronpa poster on my wall, so every day when I wake up I see Nagito Kamida staring at me, and I am reminded of my mortality. That's enough about me, let's talk about Danganronpa. We're going to be discussing the games, Easter eggs, theories, unused content, and of course memes. Also spoilers for basically everything Danganronpa, that includes spin-offs, games, the anime, everything, so you've been warned. Also, the Iceberg I'm using was mostly inspired by Stevert9 on Reddit, so thanks for making my job easier. I've added a few of my own stuff and removed a few things to make it more, PG. Though it's hard for the series to be PG, it's about, well, murdering children. See, I told you spoilers. Danganronpa 1, 2, and V3. These are the mainline Danganronpa games, starting with Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, which is known in Japan as Danganronpa Academy of Hope and High School Students of Despair. The sequel Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, which is known in Japan as Super Danganronpa 2, Farewell Despair Academy in Japan. And finally, there's Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, which is known as, in Japan, as New Danganronpa V3, Everyone's New Semester of Killing. In Japan, they seem to be parodying the Mario titles for the sequels, which is nice, but I kind of prefer the localized titles. Though the V3 title does a better job at making it seem more disconnected from the other 2 games, calling it a new semester of killing. In these games, you play as Makoto Naegi, Hajime Hinata, and Kaede Akumatsu until you don't. They follow a similar setting. There are 16 students who are trapped, and the only way they can get out is by killing another student and getting away with it. It's your job as the protagonist to investigate the murders for class trials, where you must try to figure out who is the murderer, and if you fail, everyone besides the killer is executed. The main goal is to discover the mastermind's true identity and escape with everyone. Spoilers, you can't escape with everyone. Danganronpa 3 plus DR3 and B3 aren't the same thing. Danganronpa 3 is the follow-up anime to Danganronpa 2, and it's a conclusion to the first two games. It has three arcs, one focusing on how the DR2 cast became the remnants of despair, and another arc focusing on three of the DR1 survivors in another killing game, and the final one being the conclusion. Many people, including myself, do not like this anime, since it's not very good, but I don't want to go into depth with that, because I don't want to be a bummer, also it would take too much work. I could also combine this with another topic, that being, this is different from Refree. Refree is technically a reboot, but not really because it's connected to the other games, but not in the way that you expect, so we'll get to that later. Ultra Despair Girls. Danganronpa Another Episode, Ultra Despair Girls, is a spin-off game that takes place between the first and second game, focusing on the sister of Makoto Naegi, Kamaru Naegi. She is also joined by everyone's favorite sweaty, stuttering secret serial killer Toku Fukawa. The game follows the two of them trying to escape to a city whilst being hunted down by the Warriors of Hope, a group of children who need to go to therapy. The gameplay is very different from the other games. I see the common consensus that it's bad, but I found it quite easy to get used to. This game has a lot of weird stuff though, and I'm not going to talk about them because I will throw up. But if you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. It's a shame they wasted Matt Mercer on Hashitoa. Despite what I've just said, I do actually really like this game. You might be wondering why. And it's because Tokumaru! The Tokumaru is real!
Can we get much higher? So high!
Nagito Kamida. Nagito is by far the most popular character in the series, and he also keeps me up at night. He was first introduced in Danganronpa 2, and of course, the internet loved him. He's a freak. He's the main antagonist of the game, and a rival to the protagonist Hajime Hinata. I totally understand why people like him. He's got a weird ideology about hope, which is a great way to continue the message from the first game. However, I prefer Byakuya as an antagonist personally. Whereas Nagito becomes more rude to Hajime and more antagonistic in the later chapters, Byakuya is a dick throughout the whole game, and I love it. So yeah, Stern Byakuya. 11037. 11037 is a pretty big meme in the DR community. When Sakuya is killed... Sakuya? What the fuck is... When Sayaka is killed, she leaves a message behind her in blood, which is 11037. When turned upside down, it spells Leon. The joke is, the cast takes ages to realize this. When playing the game, it makes the characters look really dumb. However, when you remember this game is from Japan, it starts to make a little more sense. And someone who doesn't speak English isn't really gonna instantly recognize the English spelling of Leon right away. So it makes more sense when you think about it like that, though it's still quite funny. Mondo's Gang is a JoJo reference. Mondo's Gang name is called the Crazy Diamonds, which is the name of Josuke's stand in JoJo Part 4, the best part, don't at me. His hair is also very similar to Josuke's, and if you put him and his brother's name together, you get Diamondo, which is like how Josuke says diamond in Part 4. Meat on the bone. When you get to the end of Danganronpa 2's first trial, as Hajime, you have to put together the words meat on the bone. And basically, everyone got this wrong. The meat on bone. The bone on the meat. Bone on the meat. And even meat the bone on, if you're feeling frisky. Smoogie lied. At the end of Refree, Smoogie revealed that Danganronpa is fictional. Could have fooled me, I thought anime characters were real. But the theory is that Smoogie wasn't telling the truth. Since we don't see what happens when the survivors leave, and Smoogie is the mastermind, he is trying to make these characters feel despair, so it makes sense for her to lie to them. Personally though, I don't believe in this theory. I just feel like it gets rid of a lot of the impact Refree's ending has, but it's still a very valid interpretation of the story. Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mukuro Ikusaba. Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Konaka is the creator of Danganronpa series, who worked for Spike Chunsoft, and one day he decided to submit a pitch to them that would later become Danganronpa, which would become the leading cause of virginity all around the world. It also shares a birthday with me, July 8th, that's cool. So like, you know, Konaka, if you want to share a birthday one day, just, you know, hit me up. I know you're watching this, and I know you love me. Masafumi Takada. Natsufumi Takada is a video game composer who made music for games like No More Heroes and Smash Bros. More importantly, he worked on music for Danganronpa series and did a fantastic job. Some of my favorite video game music ever: Beautiful Death, New World Order, Climactic Reenactment, Trigger Happy Havoc, and so much more. And it's only the music from the first game. He's very talented and you should listen to his music. Danganronpa the Animation. Danganronpa the Animation is an anime adaptation of the first game, but due to it being only 12 episodes long, with each episode being 24 minutes, it can't go in depth as much as the game does, and it doesn't have as much impact. For comparison, on my second playthrough of Trigger Happy Havoc, it took me 35 hours to complete. The anime may not live up to the game, and leaves out some of the best things. It's basically the same experience as reading a short synopsis of the game, but at least the opening song is good.
Just do it, go for it, never.
That's the animation's pretty cool. I'll give it that. I like the animation a bit. Danganronpa S. Danganronpa S Ultimate Summer Camp is an expanded version of a side game from V3, which is known as the Ultimate Talent Development Plan. There's not much to say about this game. It's not good, but it's not terrible. I feel like people overhype this game as a new Danganronpa game, when in reality it was just an okay spin-off. Fanganronpas. Fangans are a Danganronpa fan game. It's pretty self-explanatory. Super Danganronpa Another 1 and 2 have got to be the most popular ones, but I don't know much about them. I do, however, know about one, which is still in development, but a prologue released December of last year. It's called Project Eden's Garden, and it's very promising, so I'd advise all of you to check it out for yourselves. Improved Hangman's Gambit.
But can you spell the word knife?
This is a mini game we played during the class trial. We have to press the right sliders to spell a word. Majority of people do not like Hangman's Gambit. In Year 2 they changed it to Improved Hangman's Gambit, which people think is worse. That being said, I don't hate this minigame. Once you get a hold of it, it's fine, but I understand why so many people have a problem with it.
There is no
Katie's execution lasted 8 hours. This is a theory about how Katie's execution was 8 hours long, and I do not like this theory. The only really piece of evidence about this is that there's a clock in the background. The hands are going around really fast, but it's probably just a stylistic choice, representing your time running out or something like that. Also, this is canonically a show, that means there are people watching this. Why would they make it 8 hours? That would tank the ratings, and I doubt the others would just watch it happen without at least trying to help. Chapter tropes. The chapter tropes are things that happen in every mainline Danganronpa game. Some examples are a double murder in the third chapter, a strong character dying in chapter 4, and a seemingly important character being killed off in the first chapter. It can be a bit spoilery, but you don't really realize this until like the final game, so it doesn't really matter. Hidden cutscenes. There are some hidden cutscenes in each game, but the only really important ones are the ones in 2 and 3. You get a certain item and give it to a character to unlock their scenes. They're neat scenes, nothing essential though. Kaito is a reference to Kamina from Gurren Lagann. Some people seem to think that Kaito is based on Kamina from Gurren Lagann, but Kodaka mentioned that Kaito is in fact inspired by a famous bro character in a famous manga, and Gurren Lagann was an anime before a manga. The Kamina and Kaito do share the same English voice actor, so that's a fun fact. Cork. Cork is a slither creature based on the character of Korikio. Cork. We love Cork. Monokuma's beta design. The Monokuma beta design is really weird. Instead of being a bear, he's a human, and instead of being half white and half black, one half is a normal human, and the other half is insides. Lovely. Distrust. Distrust was what Danganronpa was originally gonna be. It has quite a bit of content for a prototype, and it had a much darker tone than the game we ended up with. There was a trust/distrust meter, which would change for each character depending on how much they trusted you. Leon's execution is originally from this trust, and you can see a vision with his beta design. The game looked really cool. I'm glad they went with what they did. Danganronpa just has a lot more charm to it, but Distrust seems really dark. But I wouldn't mind if they made a game more similar to Distrust in the future. Nagito Komaeda equals Makoto Neigida. Nagito Komaeda is actually an anagram of the words Makoto Neigida, which in Japanese would roughly translate to I am Makoto Neigi. It's most likely just a red herring, and a reference to Nagito wanting to become the ultimate hope, which is Makoto's ultimate talent. Danganronpa 2.5. This is a 25-minute special taking place in between Danganronpa 2 and Danganronpa 3's Hope arc. It's about Nagito Komaeda in the Neo World program, and in the end it's revealed to him that the DR2 cast are alive and no longer remnants of despair. It's all right, though a bit confusing. I would have liked to went into more depth about how they recovered though, but I feel like that would have been really interesting. Danganronpa 0. The light novel Danganronpa 0 is a prequel to the series, and is about Ryoko Otonashi, who suffers from short-term memory loss, so constantly forgets things. Though she is very infatuated with Yasuke Matsuda, in the end it's revealed that Ryoko is Yonko who made herself forget everything, and she kills Matsuda because of the spare Lamau. It's a pretty cool story, and you should check it out, even though I just spoiled the ending. Whoops. Danganronpa IF is a what-if story included in Danganronpa 2, and is basically just fanfiction. It flashes out Mukuro's character a lot more than the actual series does, but aside from that, I found the story kind of boring despite having some interesting elements. Check it out if you want, but it's nothing impressive in my opinion. Mikan teleported. In Danganronpa 2 Chapter 3, Mikan kills Ibuki and Hyoko, but she covers up Hyoko's body. He then leaves, Hajime finds Ibuki's body, goes to find the others, and sees Mikan, but somehow Mikan gets back in time to reveal Hyoko's body, thus leading everyone to believe that Mikan learned the instant transmission technique, and is definitely not a plot hole. Fanta. Fanta's a really strange meme. It's obviously a Fanta parody, and it's what Kokichi is holding in the Refree opening, so it's the meme. It also apparently showed up in Watamote, the more you know, I guess. Never Gonna Give You Up reference in Danganronpa 2. In one scene in the game, Soda's being a simp as usual and he says that he's never gonna give her up. And Hajime responds, "You might let her down though," which is in reference to the Rich Ackley song turned meme, Never Gonna Give You Up. Hyoko was supposed to survive. In Chapter 3 of Danganronpa 2, Fuyuhiko was originally going to be the one that Mikan killed instead of Hyoko, but they thought that killing Fuyuhiko would negate Peko sacrificed in the last chapter, so they decided to kill off Hyoko instead. That leads me to my next question: why didn't they just have Mikan only kill Ibuki? It would have made a lot more sense, and would have gotten rid of Mikan's teleportation plot hole. Mikan wasn't even planning to kill two people anyway. Hyoko would just happen to show up while Mikan was setting up the crime scene. This concludes the segment of why Danganronpa 2 Chapter 3 is the weakest chapter in the game, and one of the weakest chapters in the series as a whole. Ibuki Miyota is a K-On! Reference. In Japan, Ibuki isn't the ultimate musician. Instead, her super high school level talent is Light Music Club member, and K-On! Is an anime about a light music club. Also, each kanji of her name is taken from the protagonists of K-On!, and her birthday is November 17th. Which is the same birthday as Yui Hirasawa's. This is an appropriate reference since K-On! Is a peak show and Ibuki is a peak character. Danganronpa Abridged. Danganronpa Abridged was a YouTube series created by Falero that only lasted 6 episodes. An abridged series is when people take a show, shorten it down, and make it more comedic than the actual show itself. The original videos were taken down for copyright purpose but have since been re-uploaded. However, the show was cancelled after only 6 episodes because of copyright strikes and because it was causing the creator stress. Escape Button Ending. The Escape Button Ending is an unused secret ending from Trigger Happy Havoc. You'd have to have already beaten the game and then go back to the beginning and get through the first week, then go to Monokuma in the gym before the first murder occurs. Monokuma breaks the fourth wall and gives you an escape switch. Then you go to the entrance hall where the rest of the students would be already knowing about the escape switch. However, they need to get rid of their ultimate talents. Everyone agrees to get rid of the talents, and it's actually quite a nice feeling. Everyone gets a chance to see what they're going to do without the talents before leaving the school once and for all. It is actually an unused cutscene which is very similar to the one in the original ending, except everyone is there. The final dead room is based on Zero Escape. I don't know much about Zero Escape, but from what I can tell, the gameplay in the final dead room is from Danganronpa 2 is similar to the gameplay from Zero Escape, which makes sense since Fudaka is friends with the creator of Zero Escape, and both games were made by Spike Chunsoft. Kiri Kiri Jingjing. Kiri Kiri Jingjing is a fan-made music video with over 5 million views made by Ryo Tuku on YouTube. It was uploaded in 2013 on the 30th of September, and it seemed to have made everyone wish that the DR1 cast could just be friends instead of killing each other. It's a pretty cute music video, so I'd check it out if you'd like that. Makoto Naegi Secret File. Makoto Naegi Secret File is a short story about the circumstances of how Makoto Naegi got enrolled in Hope's Peak Academy. Makoto basically goes through a series of unfortunate events, and it ends with Makoto accidentally causing the enrollment letter that was supposed to go to someone else getting burned up. The headmaster of Hope's Peak decides to hold the lottery again, and it goes to Makoto Naegi. Gundam's ritual protected the Devas. In Gundam's execution, you see him performing a ritual to protect himself from the oncoming attack, but it fails and he dies. However, some people believe that the ritual was made to protect the Devas instead. This theory, while kinda sweet, is probably not true, since the ritual was about to work but failed, proving that Gundam is just a normal guy. Also, his hamsters weren't in danger, since he put them to the side to make sure they didn't get hurt. Kaede's twin. In the final chapter of V3, it was revealed that Kaede has a twin sister. This is here to be a red herring, to make us think that maybe the real Kaede is still alive and the mastermind. However, this doesn't really go anywhere. Danganronpa Kirigiri. Danganronpa Kirigiri is a light novel series focusing on the ultimate detective Kyoko Kirigiri and her past with Yui Samadere. I haven't read this yet, and I don't want any spoilers, so this is all you're gonna get, unfortunately. So, yeah. Ultra Despair Hagakure. Ultra Despair Hagakure is a spin-off novel that is unlocked after beating Ultra Despair goals. It's told from the point of view of Yasuhiro Hagakure and Kano Nakajima. It's never mentioned in canon, so the canonicity is unclear, but it is a pretty fun read, so check it out if you'd like. Yasuhiro scammed Natsume. In Ultra Despair Hagakure, it is revealed that Hiro is in debt with the Yakuza for over 8 million yen. He says he extorted money from a girl related to the Kurzuryu clan. The only two members of the Kurzuryu clan that we know are Fuyuhiko and his sister Natsume, so many people speculate that he scammed her. Akane was supposed to be the antagonist of Danganronpa 2. From what we can tell from some unused ideas for Danganronpa 2, Akane was actually supposed to be the antagonist instead of Nagito. Some of her original titles were Super High School Level Criminal, Thief, and Sinner. And from what I hear, sinning is a bad thing. There's also unused art of Akane interjecting in a similar way to the protagonist of Danganronpa. The interjections were added into Danganronpa 2, but it looks very different from the beta design. Speaking of beta designs, Akane's beta design definitely looks more villainous compared to what we got in the end. The Monocubs are the Warriors of Hope. This is a theory that suggests that the Warriors of Hope died, and in order to keep their memories alive, they were uploaded into the Monocubs. The evidence for this is that they share similar personality traits and color schemes. For example, Masaru and Monotaro are quite childish at times and try to take up the leadership role. The theory kind of falls apart when you get to Nagisa and Monokid, because they couldn't be more different. Monosuke and Jotaro I kind of get, and Kutaka and Monofine are pretty similar too. However, I find it hard to believe that Monaco is Monodam, just not similar anyway. Also, Refree is separated from the rest of the series, so this is very unlikely to be real. Every English voice actor in V3 has voiced a character in a previous game. This one's pretty self-explanatory, so I will just go through all the characters, see which ones share a voice. Kyoko and Kaede, Hajime and Rantaro, Kibu and Hifumi, Gonta and Yasuhiro, Himiko and Chiaki, Fuyuhiko and Kokichi, Maki and Nagisa, Miyu and Akane, Kurumi and Hiyoko, Kaito and Kazuichi, Shuichi and Leon, Ryoma and Gundam, Korikyo and Teruteru, Tenko and Ibuki, Tsumugi and Sayaka and Chihiro, Monotaro and Taka, Monofane and Sonya, Monodam and Byaka, Monokid and Nekomaru, Monosuke and Monokuma. Also, Monokuma has also voiced Monokuma. Byakuya watched Sonya's sin. When Sonya was in the Near World program, she got bored and committed acts against God, in Byakuya's eyes. Hiro's predictions come true in the bad ending. In the 5th class trial, if you choose to call Kyoko out on her lie, she'll get executed, and it leads to the bad ending. It's a little strange, but if you've seen Yasuhiro's free time events, you'll see that one of his predictions is that he and Makoto's children would share the same mom. And in the bad ending, you can clearly see that Aoi had their kids, as well as Byakuya's. Not sure what Kodaka meant by this, but oh well. Byakuya's unused sprites. In the files for the mainline Danganronpa games, people found the sprites for Byakuya but without his glasses. These are never used for any of the games. I don't know why they just are. I heard once that maybe it was when Aoi punched him, his glasses would fall off and then they used the sprites. But Even so, why are they in Danganronpa 2 and V3? The remnants thought Mukuro's body was Junko's. This theory is based on the fact that the remnants of the spear took parts of Junko's body when she died. For example, Nagito cut off his arm and replaced it with Junko's arm. However, Junko's body was crushed in an execution, so how did they do that? Some people believe that they mistook Mukuro's body for Junko since she was dressed up to look exactly like Junko. However, Mukuro's body was burnt, so if they did take Mukuro's body parts, then they'd be pretty crispy. So what's the explanation? I have no idea. Munakata was originally supposed to die. Like it says, Munakata was supposed to die protecting Makoto, but Kodaga wanted him to live so he could carry the burden of his dead friends just like Makoto carries the burden of hope, and Hajime carries the burden of despair.
I can only be so lukewarm.
Danganronpa Togami. Danganronpa Togami is a spin-off light novel series about everyone's favorite rich douchebag, Byakuya Togami. It's about him encountering the ultimate despair during his first year at Hope's Peak before the tragedy. It seems to have had a mixed positive reviews in Japan, and its canonicity is very debatable, but I can't speak on it because I haven't read it. Hina is the first female protagonist. This is in reference to the start of chapter 3 where you play as Hina for a bit when she discovers alter ego. She's not the first female protagonist, she's just the first playable female character. The first female protagonist in the series is Kamaru Naegi from Ultra Despair Girls, and we stand Kamaru Naegi because she's the best character. Alter Ego app. The Alter Ego app is an app that was released in Japan back in 2012 based on the character Alter Ego. It had stuff like a clock, calendar, character introductions, an option where you could talk with Alter Ego in a similar fashion to the Freedom events in the games. It also had an encyclopedia about Japan and a mode where Alter Ego impersonates other characters. I don't know what happened to the app. I mean, it probably got deleted off the App Store, that's probably it. That's still available in Japan, I have no idea. Charutaru ate his mom. I've seen it being passed around as fact, but as far as I can tell, this has never been confirmed. It's more than likely that he killed his parents, but I don't think it's ever been confirmed that he ate his mom. Because that'd be kind of fucked up if you ate your. I mean, I don't have to tell you. You probably know that. Unless you don't. Guess good advice. It's pretty fucked up to eat your mom. Now you know. The Monocubs are Junko's split personality. This is another theory about the Monocubs, but unlike the last one, this one makes a lot more sense. Junko had multiple personalities, not like the real disorder. She just gets bored of her personality, so she changes it up. Some of Junko's personalities match up with the Monocub, like Monoka is similar to Junko's rock and roll personality, and Monophane is similar to her more sweet personality. Monosuke could fit with her teacher persona, because they both have glasses, I guess. Monotaru is Queen Junko, since they're both leaders, maybe? Then Monodam is her JoJo Pose personality. Okay, so this theory gets a bit stretched a little when it comes to some of them, but it's still an interesting theory. Danganronpa 1-2, Beautiful Days. This is another novel focusing on the characters from Trigger Happy Havoc and Goodbye Despair. It's just a bunch of short stories focusing on the daily lives of the characters. And just like Kirigiri and Togami, I have not read this one, so let's move on. Toko spontaneously combusts in the bad ending. Pretty self-explanatory. In the bad ending, Byakuya is holding a photo of Toko, implying she died. Like what Aka said in the bad ending, that she just explodes. Rest in pepperoni, Toko. Kyo is basically Komi-san. This is a meme about how Core, Kyo, and Komi from Komi Can't Communicate have similar goals of getting 100 friends. Though Core Kyo is getting 100 friends for his sister and he's killing people, whereas Komi isn't killing people. I think I haven't seen the show yet. Does Komi kill people? Gundam killed the Devas. This is a fan theory, I think. I can't find any information on this. I'm assuming the theory speculates that Gundam killed the Devas when he became an ultimate despair, but that's just what I think. I literally can't find anything on this, sorry. They left a blooper in the final scene of the Danganronpa 3 dub. Okay, so I checked this out, and the blooper didn't actually make it in. 2 did. When Nagito grabs Makoto's hands, and as Nagito is dragged away, Makoto asks. The second time was in the final scene with Kyuko saying,
"Yeah, I don't get this either. Pretty sure I died."
Which is in reference to how she died, but she got better. Korokyo killed Rentaro's sister. 3 time. Korokyo and Rentaro both travel a lot. Rentaro lost his sisters, Korokyo kills women. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Korihiro might have killed them. I will admit that it may be unlikely for them to be in the same place at the same time unless Korihiro was maybe following him, but it's definitely more than likely that he killed one of them at least. Danganronpa predicted COVID. This is a dumb meme based on how there's a line in B3 about a virus that spread rapidly around the world, and that's just like COVID. Every single copy of Twilight Syndrome murder case was personalized. Alright, I'm tired and I can't find anything on this. It's probably a joke in the same vein of the rumors about every copy of Mario 64 is personalized. If I'm wrong, whoopsies, I guess. Danganronpa S is Hifumi's fanfiction. Now I know this one personally. I was there when the texts were written. I know the secret information. Basically, he looks a little evil in the Danganronpa Decadence cover, and S is basically fanfiction. Yeah, that's it. The courtroom window in V3 is pixel art of Sayaka's idol group. This is a very neat detail that I never actually noticed before, despite playing Trials in V3 multiple times. But it's true, just take a look and it's clear to see. Kirigiri-so. Kirigiri-so is a PC sound novel that was exclusive to the Japanese Blu-ray box set of Danganronpa 3, The End of Hope's Peak. The main character is just a normal student who gets lost and meets Kyoko before offering her a ride in his car. They get into an accident and they both look for a place to stay. They find a house and they are attacked by a suit of armor, a skull, and a girl who looks just like Kyoko. And that's all we know about the game so far. I'm hoping we get more information on it soon. Maybe we could even see a full fan translation soon, but I doubt we'll ever get an official one, which is unfortunate. So that's all the information from this Iceberg, but I'm not done yet. There's still a little more to talk about. So in the end, I still haven't gone through every single piece of Danganronpa information that exists, since, that'd be impossible for me. Danganronpa is still a series I hold very close to my heart, and I'm very glad I was able to make this video on it so I could talk about one of the things I'm very passionate about. If a Danganronpa 4 were to ever come out, I'd be beyond excited, but even if it were to never come out, I'd still be satisfied with what we have. Besides, I'm interested to see what Kodaka does with his next game, Ring Code. It looks like it'll be a spiritual successor to Danganronpa, and the characters do look quite similar to Danganronpa characters. I understand not everyone is going to like the series like I do. I acknowledge that I'm very lucky enough to be able to enjoy the series despite all the flaws it has. I understand it can be a deal breaker for certain people, which is more than okay. Danganronpa may not be perfect, but it brings me joy. But most importantly,
だとしたら、これはみんなで勝ち取った奇跡だね。
奇跡か。こういう結末も悪くないな。
当たり前だよ。私が生きて戦って命を懸けたものだもん。さあ行こう。私たちの未来はみんなで作るんだよ。
The Tokumaru is real!